Hello friends and welcome back to another exciting episode, right? So I've been away for a while, you know, real life basically caught up with me. I had to do business. So yeah, but I'm back now and I'm on my way to a car dealership to take a look at a car that has been reviewed ad nauseum on YouTube, but I wanted to take a closer look. And by the way, if this is your first time visiting, please consider subscribing, turning on notifications so you know when I'm posting. And then, yeah, let's go, and I'll see you when I get there. All right? Okay, friends, so I have arrived at Victory Lane Chevrolet in Fort Myers. And yes, you guessed it right. I'm here to see, take a closer look at the Corvette C8 and see what the fuss is all about. But before we do that, let's take a walk along memory lane and see the evolution of this American icon vehicle. The Corvette C1 is a first generation Corvette. It was introduced late in the 1953 model year, and it was produced through 1962. The Corvette became an overnight classic. Even though it received some slight modifications throughout the years, it basically remained classic to its line. The Corvette C2 is a second generation of the Chevrolet Corvette, produced for the 1963 to 1967 model years, with the 1966 model among my favorite cars of all time. The C3 was produced from 1967 to 1982 for the 1968 to 1982 model years, and marked the second time the Corvette would carry the Stingray name, though only for the 1969 to 1976 model years. As with previous generations, the C3 also received some static modifications, but it basically kept the same line over the production years of 67 to 1982. The C4 was produced from 1983 to 1986. The convertible return, as did higher performance engines, exemplified by the 375 horsepower LT5 found in the ZR1. The C5 was produced for the 1997 through 2004 model years. The C5 debuted with an all-new GM 5.7 liter V8 engine dubbed the LS1. It was rated at 345 horsepower and 350 pounds-foot of torque. The C5 was the first vehicle to use this engine, but it went to be used in the Camaro and also in the Trans Am. The C6 was produced for the 2005 to the 2013 model years, and it is the first Corvette with exposed headlamps since the 1962 model. The C7 was introduced for the 2014 to 2019 model years as the first to bear the Corvette Stingray name since the 1968 third generation model, Additionally, it adopted much more modern lines, but is still keeping the traditional Corvette essence. Okay, so this dealership has three of the Corvette C8s, two red and one white, and they're all sold. I think the white is a 2L. This one is also, I believe, a 2L, and the one further here is a 1L, which is a basic. Three trims, 1L, 2L, and 3L. So I asked to basically just open one of the cars so I could take a look inside, and I was told, no, you can't do that. I would assume because all of the three are sold. But let's take a look around at least one of them. Okay, so this is basically what it looks like. It's a nice trim, or it's a nice look, but one of my main concerns has been the lack, in my opinion, of personality or of identity. You see, this, to me, is a hybrid. It's a hybrid or a chimera of different cars. So if you look at the front end, you know, it kind of resembles the Ferrari 458, and even here, the Ferrari LaFerrari, for example, the massive air intakes. If you look at the side, and there's one further up there, you can take a better look, it resembles any of the McLarens, right? And if you take a look at the rear end, you can even say that it looks like a Camaro. So that's what I'm talking about, the lack of personality or identity. Even the rear window looks like a McLaren. Can't tell you much about the interior because, as I said, they won't let me get in. So even if I were a potential buyer, that kind of sucks. But, you know, that's the way some dealerships deal with potential customers. So this is a 3L. The other one is a 2L with a ZR1 package, and that's about 80,000. This one is about 85,000, and that's the basic, the 1L, at around, I would say about 60,000 or so. I don't have the sticker price or the sticker on that car. So once again, this is a car that I used to see, I mean the Corvette, and on the road you were able to tell that's a Corvette. I've seen a couple of them on the road, this ones, and I can basically say that I thought it was a Ferrari at the beginning, and then I thought it was a McLaren. I never thought it was a Corvette. So that's my main issue with this car. The lack, I believe, and that's again my opinion. You may have obviously a totally different opinion, but my opinion is that this car lacks a lot of personality, the personality that the original, you know, the traditional, let's say, Corvette had. New, other than the styling, obviously now we have the mid-engine, which is a new style or a new engine for Chevrolet General Motors. Not sure if you can actually see it. Oh, yeah, it is exposed on the rear window. Okay, so that's definitely a technological change compared to the previous Corvettes. But, you know, would you spend 60, 85, or let me check this one again, or and this one 75? I'm not sure. So again, you'll be the judge. I'm not sure that I'll be willing to pay that kind of money for that particular car. Maybe in the 60, the basic model, yes, but I was told that a wait list for any of those cars is about 2 years. Obviously, the pandemic has not helped with production. The other thing that I didn't like at all is that if I wanted to order one, I have to order it basically on pictures, based on pictures, the interior, all of that, because I couldn't get in any of this, which I think is kind of sucks. Well, I mean, I bought mine sight unseen, but Mercedes-Benz quality and Mercedes-Benz interiors and all that. With the Chevy Corvette, you know, I had one. I had the C5, and the interior was not the best. It was actually kind of cheesy. You know, it was a lot of plastic. I don't know if they have improved the one on the C8, but as I have already said, my main concern is the lack of personality on that car. If I see it on the road, now maybe I will be able to tell it apart. But before, the first few that I saw, I had no idea what it was. Ferrari, McLaren, Camaro, you know, from the rear. Well, not necessarily the Camaro. But I think that they just pulled too many things from too many different cars, made a new one, but that departed totally, I think, from what the traditional line of the Corvette is. I like that it is a mid-engine. I think that's again a first for Chevrolet, and the jury's still out as to its performance. This one has, I think they told me, about 495 horsepower. Since it is mid-engine, maybe the loss between the crank and the wheel is not that much. So maybe it's pulling 395, maybe 400 and change. You know, you can get to the Z06 or the ZR1 package. Actually, the Z06 will have much better performance in terms of horsepower. You know, dealing with about maybe, I think if I read it correctly or remember, maybe in the 700 range in terms of horsepower. But also the price tag increases substantially because you're talking now north of 100,000 for a Chevrolet, for a Corvette. I don't know. I'll be hard pressed to spend that kind of money in that kind of car. So, you know, I hope that you like this video. No technical specifications on the car. I just wanted to take a look at it and see what the fuss was all about. It is a beautiful car. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's not, but definitely I think that it has lost a lot of its personality. Okay, so until the next time, peace.